to Cham Pols, the world of chameleons. Now, I'm kind of sorry that this episode took as long as it did to make. I was going through some, little difficulties, technical difficulties, basically, and other things of the such, but now I'm finally getting it out. And, well, I hope you enjoy. If you don't know what Cham Pols is, well, Cham Pols is a seed world. A seed world is an alien world that is seeded with Earth life by another intelligent life form. In this episode, we'll be talking about the biomes that we did not talk about in the last episode, starting off with the tropical plains. The tropical plains in Tungulus are very strange. Boulders usually line up the clearings with towering trees. And the Tungulus fauna are a little bit more different than the Camara fauna. Starting off with is the grass derameelion. The grass derameelion is one of the smallest type of derameelion. The reason why they're so small is that they can run through the taller grass and boulders and not be seen by, predators that might try to eat them. So yes, it's a pretty good way to survive, and they are actually very insectivorous, unlike other derameelion who eat more so grass and fruit and leaves. So insects and invertebrates make up a large portion of the grass derameelion's diet. Another organism is the graspster. The graspster is a type of crabster that has made it to the tropical plains. These organisms are very strange in appearance. These guys mainly live in the lakes, creeks, and rivers that can be found running through the tropical plains. However, they'll also go out inside the grass and hide and eat some of the grass, and as well as the fruits. They're brown to blend in with the dirt and have green antennae and ground bellies to make it seem like plants. They're very strange organisms, but them stepping out of the water like this so they can get some meals definitely might cause something very special in the future. Next up, we have the spike side. The spike side is a very strange type of camelosaur. They have developed spikes on their sides to ensure that predators do not, it's a lot more harder for them to get through and eat them. Nothing much has changed, but besides the, spikes on their side, and because that these guys travel in herds a lot more and eat a lot more grass with their big stomachs to survive. They also have somewhat of a two-tail, little dent in the tail, which can make into two little points of the tail. Very strange, but, Cham Pols is, strange. This creature is known as the grass muncher. The grass muncher is not a gentle herbivore, and as a matter of fact, it's not a herbivore at all. The reason it gets its name is because it's a relative of the munchers, but now they moved to the tropical plains. Since no cannibal chameleons are on Tungulus, these guys have taken up the niche of large carnivore in the tropical plains. They have a bone-crushing jaw stronger than their ancestors and can bust bone in a single bite as they rip through flesh. They can also run quite fast, running up to 30 miles per hour, so good luck trying to outrun one of these guys. They also have a very strong tail and are not a pleasant experience to get. This big bird right here is known as a tyrant fowl. Tyrant fowl is a giant, almost dinosaur-looking bird. They are omnivores and are not pack dwellers. Sometimes they'll go inside of packs, but most of the time they're solitary, as if they're solitary, it takes up less resources. So, you probably won't find one in a little flock or anything. They also have a bite that can break bone, but they usually don't eat meat unless they're desperate for meat. So, and just be careful around them, because they are very territorial if you were to see one. So be careful if you're a small little animal. Another strange organism is the long-necked fowl. The long-necked fowl is like a Therizinosaurus at most, except if that Therizinosaurus didn't have long claws that were like 3 feet long. These guys have long necks to reach the mangoes at the top of the tree. Mangoes make up 100% of their diet, and that's all they eat. They also don't travel in flocks and are solitary because, well, solitary takes up less resources. So you can find these guys munching on mangoes across the trees and just living their life. Another creature is the green mantis hopper. The green mantis hopper is a type of mantis hopper that has become a green color as these guys now live inside of grass. They hunt small insects and are very carnivorous with their sharp, bony teeth. Nothing much has changed about them. Similar size and similar appearance, except, well, they're green, and they don't have the crazy-looking eyes either. So, very strange. Another strange organism is the grass swifttern. The grass swifttern was a type of jungle swifttern that moved to the tropical fields. These guys rummage through the grass and are also one of the smallest type. They eat small deer mammalians mainly, but will also eat small chicks of tyrant fowls, but that's going to be a lot less because who wants to fight an angry mother? So mainly small baby animals and even, sometimes, fruits, making them one of the only omnivorous swiftterns out there. Another strange creature is the scale biter. The scale biter is a type of barking chameleon that egg tooth has grown to be almost like that of a sharp incisor. They use this tooth to bite chunks of flesh off of their prey. They jump down from the tree, bite off their flesh like a cookie cutter shark. So, leaving a big chunk of flesh out. They then hurry up and climb back into the tree, so guess what? They won't be attacked. They're a very pesky little creature that you definitely need to watch your back, unless you want a hole in your back. Now we move over to the tropical fields, a very lush biome. The tropical fields haven't changed much on Tungulus, except more growth of the flower stalks. The first organism that we're going to be looking at is the flower tick. The flower tick is actually a flightless variant of the monarch butterfly. And guess what? They're like a tick. They dig their head inside the flesh of creatures and drink their blood. They're very strange, and sometimes when they find a dead corpse, they'll lay their caterpillars in it. A very disgusting little parasite that you might want to watch out for when you're stepping in the tall grass inside the flower fields. And in the skies of the flower fields and in the tropical plains, you can find the flitter chameleon. The flitter chameleon is a type of chameleon that is now taken to the skies. They have bat-like wings and are only native to Tungulus. They have large wings and powerful flight, similar to a pterosaur. They are mainly omnivores, eating small insects, carrion, and fruits, and sometimes even grass. Nothing really can eat them unless they're on the ground, which is not that much as they're usually found soaring through the sky like a big pterosaur. A pesky little creature rummages through the grass. This is a wolfamillion. A wolfamillion is a descendant of the dogamillion. Its legs have now moved under its body, as most chameleons and reptiles on Cham Pols have been doing, in order to run faster. These guys also, unlike many chameleons, are a lot more social, living in their gangs, or packs as they're sometimes called, to hunt down prey. They're very strong and can take down a bunch of flock of flitter chameleons with ease. These guys also eat flower ticks sometimes, just for little gippies, as sometimes the poison can kick into them like what dolphins do with pufferfish, let's just say that. The apex predator inside the flower fields has changed. Now it's the flower tiger. The flower tiger is a descendant of the catamillion. and is a large, bulky beast. It has large muscles, and these guys look very mammalian. They're almost like synapsids at a point, but they're still reptiles. They're cold-blooded and lay eggs, and don't have a single fur on them. They're very strange and intelligent, similar to that of a cat. They are called flower tigers as they've taken up the niche similar to what tigers have, ambush predators. They can sometimes ambush lone wolf chameleons and flitter chameleons whenever they want. Sometimes, however, they'll even scavenge off of prey inside of the tropical fields. So there's something that you definitely want to look out for. Now we travel over to another biome. That is the oceans. This is the oceanic duckfowl. And now you might be wondering, why is it blue? Well, we all know what flamingos are, right? They get their color from the types of bacteria in the water and from the things that they eat. This has a similar effect to them, because if they're blue, they can also blend in with, the surrounding water. They eat small invertebrates, which can also help them get their blue color, and the bacteria that's in the water that goes on them makes them blue. So a very strange blue bird that is very cool, and you know what? Might just be one of the cutest creatures out here in the ocean. Another small little organism is the ortera. The ortera is a very strange name for a creature. It has the same jaw, similar to what its ancestors does, and are the main diet of the oceanic duckfowl. Nothing's much about them, except now they don't live in coral reefs, but instead live out inside the waters, deeper waters. Next up is the blue coelamellion. The blue coelamellion is one of the largest animals yet, as they live inside of the deep waters. They also have bristle-like teeth similar to whales that they use to filter out plankton and other small bacteria that they feed on. They're so large and bulky and give birth to live young. So, guess what? No coming ashore to lay eggs, just like their coelamellion ancestors. They're a very titanous organism. A very tinier creature is known as the jigsaw shrimp. The jigsaw shrimp is, well, of course, not a shrimp at all, but a lobster descendant. Their jaws, have become serrated and can cut into creatures' flesh, similar to, cookie cutter sharks, giving them their name, jigsaw shrimp. Now we move over to another biome, the shrublands. Some of the new fauna that have emerged on the shrublands is the sailed shrub singer. The sailed shrub singer is very similar to a normal shrub singer, except now it has sails on its little crest that attaches to the back. This acts as a regulator that can regulate its body temperature. So if it gets too hot, it can disperse heat, but if it wants to keep heat, it can keep it within the sail. A very strange organism that is way more territorial and more aggressive than the other shrub singers. So you don't want to step onto one's territory or you might get bit. Now I move over to another biome. The cold, cold Arctic, which hasn't changed much, except the bigger snow bunny has lived. This creature might be called a snow bunny, but it's definitely not no bunny that you would want to pet. It's an omnivorous crange arthropod that has very much so tended to the cold. It lives on land more and can live in herds. It has thick fur and long legs, and it's basically not similar to the snow crabster. A strange organism that lives in the depths is the ice king. The ice king is a type of strange lobster. They have strong teeth like mandibles and sharp serrated claws. They can ambush any organism, which is usually, the snow bunnies, that come near the water, usually to suck it up into their gills. They ambush them, grabbing them with their claws and breaking their soft, little squishy exoskeleton with their strong, bone-crushing claws. They also have white antennae to blend in with the snow and ice, and a blue body to blend in with the clear blue water. That is all for today, and I thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed today, I would make sure if you like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Also, if y'all hear a dog barking in the background, that's okay. It's just a dog. But nonetheless, have an awesome day, and I'll hope to see you next time. Subscribe. Big, bright star is now even brighter in the night sky. The organisms that are seeing it are scared. They run and run and run. The star is getting bigger. It's orange now. It's coming through. All the creatures are scared. They don't know what to do. Most of them run. But the ones that keep on watching, they keep watching it as it comes closer and closer. And if they kept watching it, they would hear a big, big boom.